James from Warrior Martial Arts Supply. We're here today with a new product. This one is called the Centerline Wooden Dummy. As you can see, we were working on this. If you've been following my past few videos, we were kind of undecided on whether or not to have these limbs spring-loaded. And after playing with it for a little bit, I found that having the tension on it is way better than without. So the action of this goes right to left, same as the bottom. And basically the stop position of each one of these arms is the same exact angle of your traditional wooden dummy arms. The purpose of this is you have a long arm and you have the standard size arm. We're also going to make this available with two standard size arms. There's a purpose for the long arm. I'm going to go over that in a minute. But basically this is going to give you the option to use the full length arm. As you can see, this is 18 inches. So from my elbow to my wrist is this indication point here. You can see that stripe, that black band, and then from here is my bicep. So this is giving you a full length arm that now is on the center line, which is where we get its name from, Centerline Dummy. Unlike the other traditional wooden dummies where your upper arms are at that finish point of the block, so when you're blocking on these arms here, you're in the finish position. Okay, on this dummy here, you actually have these on the center line, so you don't have to imagine a strike coming on the center line and then you finish in the position. What this dummy allows is for you to actually take it off the center line and trap and do all your techniques, but now you're able to physically move the arm, which is why I created this. I wanted a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what you can do with this, just to give you an idea. We're going to have a full video on this coming soon. Okay, from this angle you can see a little bit better. Part of the idea of this is so you're able to work different distances, different ranges. So for instance, when you're on the wooden dummy, your standard arms end here. And this is supposed to represent at some points the wrist, and then at other points it's going to represent the elbow. But in real space between this and the body, this could never be the wrist in reality. So, you know, there's a little bit of a limitation there. So what I'm trying to do is make a product where you now have the full extension of the arm, and not only does this allow for a little bit more realistic and better structure for certain techniques as far as your distance, but it also allows you to use some more footwork. So for instance, when you bridge here, now you can move in with some footwork. Okay, with the regular wooden dummy, when you're at this point, you can still move in, but you're a little bit tight because you're working with only 12 inches, and the human arm is 18 inches on average, not including the fist. Now, again, the fist would be obviously past here. So, of course, we don't want to bring this out to where the fist is, because then when you're working with this, you're going to get hit in the face. So at least this will allow you to still be in range. You can contact the trunk, but have the ability for it to clear, you know, and not conk you in the chin. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit on this. This is actually really the first day I'm actually playing with it. So again, we're going to have a much better video, much more organized than what you're going to see here. This is just a preview of what's to come, just to give you a feel of this product. So for instance, let's say we're going to do a bong sao and a lap fun. Okay, on your normal wooden dummy, your bong sao would be in here, which is technically, you're at the elbow. That's really not the right position for your bong sao. You should be, you know, before the elbow in this direction and not towards the bicep. But because of the small arms on a wooden dummy of 12 inches, you have to say accommodate it that way, and you're really not in the proper position, because again, you're not going to be this close. You're all jammed up here. You can't get a full extension of the lap, and you can't get a full extension of the fun sao. So same technique on the 18-inch arm. Now you can even use your footwork. You can bong sao, lap fun, trap, and hit. And again, you're able to travel and you have more realistic distance. So slow here, your bong sao would catch it where you normally would catch a person, between somewhere halfway between the wrist and the elbow, and then you can step in, toma, lap chop. I like to press low and hit. Again, pressing high, this lan sao, this high, is not realistic. You don't lan sao someone's shoulder level. You're going to bring that down more towards the middle of the chest. So you can't reach the middle of the chest, and this is too jammed. This allows you to at least press and gum sao the lower arm to your strike. Okay, let's take a simple technique like tanda, retrap, chan jen. Okay, on a regular wooden dummy, you know, your arm again would be in this position. If you were to do tanda, you'd be this close. So you can see I can't get a full extension of my tansao, and I can't get a full extension of my punch. Now when I go to retrap and change in, I can't really move in with much footwork because I'm already as close as I can possibly be on my initial contact with the tansao. So now with the 18-inch arm, it gives you that option, which is a little bit more realistic as far as the zones and the distance range between you and the attacker. So from here, now from, you know, not being in range until I come in range, I make contact with tanda, and I can retrap and come in with some toma footwork. So at least it gives you that realistic feel of and that's just one of the examples of what you can do with the 18-inch arm. Okay, another example, say bong sao. Normally when you bong sao the standard 12-inch arm, your bong sao would be here, and then you would lop, and then you retrap and hit. Now again, here, this is supposed to represent the wrist, but you're too close to the body for it to be the wrist. This is more the elbow, which is not the right spot. And then the other problem is when you go to, say, go from a lop fun, you can't move into it much footwork. You're already at the right distance from bong sao, which is too close, you know, too jammed up, in my opinion, to really let out the fun sao and the retrap and the change in. But here, this is more realistic. You're bridging at this point, where you should be. Now you have some room to step in, lop chop, retrap. So it's just another example of the purpose of this long arm. There's going to be a ton of different things we can do with this. I'm interested to try to do the dummy form on it to see how I can, you know, manipulate it on this dummy with the one arm. I believe it can be done. I mean, if you could do the dummy form in the air, you should be able to do a one arm, two arms, or no arms. So more videos are going to be coming next. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.